Let's now move on and see just where these Astros are going to rank in my new and updated top 10 Major League Baseball power rankings. All right, let's start at number 10. I have the Minnesota Twins. The Twins continue to hold on in the AL Central, not by a lot. That gap has gotten closer and closer. They're 52 and 44. I like them. In full disclosure, this was a toss-up between them and the Seattle Mariners. What the Mariners did against the Astros, just a big series. They just laid an egg. They did not look good. The Mariners have gotten themselves back into contention, but this one goes to the Twins. They're leading the division, 52 and 44. They look good. Moving on to number 9, the Tampa Bay Rays. Entering Sunday, the Rays have the 4th best team ERA at 3.40. That's why the Rays are here. Their pitching is good. Their pitching is really good. Offensively, they just keep shuffling around names. There's nobody that's consistently been there, and they're a star in that lineup. No, but their pitching keeps them in ball games, and never bet against the Rays. At number 8, the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, it's their pitching. Their hitting, honestly, hasn't been that good, but their pitching is really good. The front end of that rotation, the back end of that bullpen. They're 53 and 43, and I have them at number 8. At number 7, the Padres of San Diego, 54 and 42. Entering Sunday, the Padres are 28 and 7 when Manny Machado records an RBI. Think of that. I said earlier this year, this team needs to be carried by somebody. Somebody needs to step up. It's been Manny Machado. They're 28 and 7 when he drives in a run in a game. That's pretty good. They're not going to win the division, but they are on pace to get to the playoffs, but as long as they don't just crumble like they did last year. I don't think Bob Melvin's going to allow that. Tatis is coming back at some point soon. They're a really good team. Moving on to number 6, a good jump up these power rankings. The Toronto Blue Jays, 53 and 43. Entering Sunday, the Blue Jays lead all of baseball in hits and team batting average. They scored more runs in a series than they have ever done in history against the Red Sox. Big thanks to that 28-run game they had Friday. 28-5. They beat the Blue Jays, or they beat the Red Sox. 28-5. The Red Sox have issues. The Blue Jays are figuring it out. This is why I believed in this team, their offense. They scored so many runs against the Red Sox. Moving on to number 5, the Atlanta Braves. The Braves have a 35 and 12 record since June 1st. That's including their loss on Sunday. 35 and 12. That is the best in baseball. The lead in the NL East has dwindled down, nothing because of what the Mets have done, but because the Braves took that lead away from the Mets. They're right on their heels, but they haven't yet caught them. And they had a big series against the Mets right before the All-Star break, in which the Mets went into Atlanta and won. So the Mets still hold on to the NL East lead, and that series is a big reason why at number 4 and just ahead of the Braves, I still have the Mets. 58 and 37. DeGrom is coming back soon. He's expected to have one more rehab start in the minor leagues, and then guess what? He's back in the big leagues. For the first time this year, he's expected to pitch in the big leagues very soon. They have Max Scherzer back. This team hasn't been at full health, but they are close, and they are still holding on to that lead, and went into Atlanta in a big series, went into Atlanta on the road and beat the surging Braves, who have been the best team in baseball since the beginning of June. I have them at number 4. At number 3, the Dodgers, who I talked about in depth off the top of the show. 64 and 30, 19 wins in their last 21 games. What more do I need to say? This is why they're so good. There's a best 3 in baseball. The top 3 kind of separates themselves from the rest. The Dodgers enter that conversation. Their pitching has been fantastic. Their hitting is heating up. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the Dodgers. In fact, I did at the beginning of the show. But they are here at number 3. At number 2, my friends, this is where things start getting interesting. At number 2, for the first time in a long time, I have the New York Yankees. The Yankees are 66 and 31. They have the most wins in all of baseball. They are a fantastic team. They have been the best team in baseball to this point all year long. They're They have their big star, Aaron Judge, on pace to break their all-time record. They were on pace for a while to break the all-time Major League record, which it doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore. But I now have them at number 2. And at number 1, for the first time in many months, the Houston Astros are on top. The number 1 spot. They're 63-32. They crushed the Yankees all 7 games they played this year, went 5-2 against the Yankees. The Yankees never once came up to the plate with a lead. The Astros dominated the doubleheader coming out of the All-Star break, won both games of that doubleheader. The Yankees, just to be quite honest with you, did not do well against the Astros all year long. They had the courtesy of 2 walk-off wins. Those were their only 2 wins. The Yankees this year never once came to the plate against the Astros with a lead. Think about that. The Astros held them to 2 runs or less in 4 of their 7 matchups. Head-to-head, the Astros are the better team. In the game of baseball, the Astros are the best team right now. The New York Yankees have an Astros problem. The Astros know how to beat the Yankees, and the Astros go on the road to Seattle and beat the hottest team in baseball, who had won 14 in a row. Just make them look silly. Won all 3 games there in their stadium in a massive series. I'm not overthinking this one. The Astros might not have the amount of wins the Yankees have, but they're right behind them in the standings in terms of the number 1 seed. And the Astros have shown enough to me and to everybody. There's really no arguing this. The Astros are the best team in baseball. You can't point to the Yankees any longer simply because they're a game up in the standings. I don't care any longer. Look at the head-to-head. Anybody that is watching knows the Astros have been the better team against the New York Yankees, which means the Astros are the best team in baseball, and they round out my top 10 this week. The Houston Astros are on the new number 1 spot. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.